Hey everybody, it's JT here. Thanks for joining me in this video. Wanted to talk to you today about playing lines and licks and memorizing lines and licks and working them into your playing. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? How much should I do it? Is it good? There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube where people are proponents of that and they just have tons of licks, and I got all these licks over dominant chords, and I got all these licks over diminished chords, and all these licks here and there, and I got my 2/5 licks in every key. And if you end up just being a pure pattern player and you're just cutting and pasting licks and lines, you don't want to do that. Trust me when I tell you, in my own experience for 35 years now playing jazz and mentoring with, taking lessons with, and talking to many amazing jazz musicians and legends. Growing up in New York like I did, amongst the jazz scene, going to Berklee like I did. I've taken master classes from Joe Lovano and Branford Marsalis and Dave Liebman, and I've studied with amazing sax players and guitar players and piano players in New York. And I'm telling you right now that none of them made their style all about always playing rehearsed patterns. All right, so you got to look beyond that. It's good to do that in the beginning. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's good to kind of infuse some rhythm into you, and learn some 2/5 licks and learn to be able to play them along with a backing track or with a live band. It's okay to do that, but the longer picture is that's not going to be the basis of your style. First of all, jazz is about communicating with the other band members. It's about playing melodically, playing soulfully, playing musically, and doing something as a band. It's amazing. And I remember seeing Branford talk about this. Branford Marsalis, I saw him doing a master class at Berklee many years ago, like 20 years ago or more. And he was saying all about this, talking about how don't be that guy that goes to the open mic with a long list of numbered licks that you're going to try to practice, and work in. It's not about that. So it's good to be able to have a little bit of a repertoire from learning lines and licks. So again, I'm not completely against it, but look at it more like kind of like a tool in the toolbox and something that's useful when you're kind of getting started early on. Maybe you're at university, or you're in the early stages of developing your vocabulary or your repertoire. Not saying it's a bad thing. I own some sheets of paper and even a book with licks and lines in them, and I've worked on some and all that. I do have some cliched licks that I now do, here and there. And a lot of times if I created my own lines, I over time got so good at playing them, I would just kind of change them and morph them. And now I can kind of morph them into anything I want while I'm playing, which is again a good thing if you can do that, and actually morph them into other things spontaneously, then that's a good thing. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to be a pure pattern player because you're just going to sound robotic. You're not going to be able to have soul coming out. And hey, listen, when you're playing, the drummer might do something rhythmically that you want to pick up on. And if you're worried about playing a certain lick, then you're not going to be connected. So you have to think about that. It's not about you only. When you get together with a band, it's about communicating together. So, my suggestion would be to, if you're early on in your development, it's okay to kind of read some licks and memorize them and try to cut them and paste them along with backing tracks. It's a good way to get started. But I'm making this video primarily to let you know that that's not really the end goal. All right. So don't look at other players that are just all over the place with patterns and scales and look at them as they are the ultimate, because they're not. They may be impressive technically, but you want to see a real jazz musician. It's not going to be somebody who's just cut and pasting licks and lines everywhere. So anyway, that was the main purpose of this video. I wanted to get out there, in my opinion, and help the younger musicians out there to get on the right track mentally. All right. So if you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think about this. All right. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thanks a lot.